This night was so different from the previous one, when the wind was rocking my boat like crazy. That spot, very close to famous Trollstigen, hiding somewhere between those mountains, was in fact a very small wooded area that gave me shelter from the wind. I knew the pass would be closed in winter, but I really wanted to see at least part of it, and having a drone allows you to experience it in some way. So despite the conditions, I took the risk and raised my Mavic to show the beauty of that valley. Sometimes it's a really risky game. Suddenly I got an alarm on my controller saying that motors are reaching their limits, wind is too strong and that the drone is landing. Fortunately, I was able to cancel this procedure and move away from the slope. This probably saved my recordings, as there would be no chance to reach the drone after emergency landing. The Trolls Road was opened in 1936 and historically was an important transport passage between Valldal and Andalsnes. It is in fact carved into the mountains itself and in some other places built on top of stone walls. It twists through 11 magnificent hairpin bends. Each bend has its own name, often named after the person that supervised the construction work on that particular section. An impressive bridge in natural stone carries the road across the Stickfossen waterfall. This is unregulated and powerful waterfall with total height of 240 meters, which 180 meters is almost a single drop. Looking from above, you can clearly see why this Trolls ladder is closed in winter. Due to the conditions, many roads in Norway are closed seasonally. To avoid any surprises, check this website while planning. All information about opening and closing dates can be found there. And speaking of driving, few shots to show how this trip looked like from the driver's perspective. It's a footage from the dashcam, so forgive me the video quality. Ferries and tunnels. That's what you can see very often. But first of all, when you travel in winter, you drive in the dark a lot. Short days and long distances between my points of interest required a lot of driving after dusk. It was a pity, as I surely missed a lot of beautiful views. Also, conditions can change rapidly. You're entering the tunnel in the rainy fall weather on one side, to exit it after a few hundred meters, in full winter on the other. When you add snowfall, or even worse, snowfall mixed with rain and strong wind, the driving conditions can get really nasty. And don't forget about other surprises, like this snowplow for example. There was a truck driving from the opposite side, so the plow needed to stop suddenly. It seemed I was keeping proper distance from it, but it was really close to hit its back. It was so slippery, I had difficulties to back up. There were also lots of days like this, with constant rainy and cloudy weather. Another ferry, another small town, and kilometers of narrow, wet asphalt roads with blurred views of the surrounding, without shooting anything due to bad conditions. Back then I just knew it would be hard to edit entertaining clip from that trip with so little video being recorded, and I felt the dashcam could be helpful to fill up the gap. But to not leave you with the impression that this trip was all about driving underground and surviving one rainy day after another, I left some few nice shots for the end. So don't go away. Last look at the peaks surrounding Trollstigen. Of course it was raining, and I set off towards Sognefjorden. It's 350 kilometers drive, and due to constant rain I made just one short stop to cook and shoot time-lapse at the same time, as it stopped raining. Well, for a moment. I planned to reach Zondal and stay at the camping found in my Garmin to have a proper shower. But as I arrived at 11 p.m. after driving in constant rain, the camping was closed. So drove another 50 kilometers and found a spot close to Hermannsberg. Another day started with clouds but not rain, fortunately, so on my way to Fresvik I could take few shots and even chill for a moment on the shore close to Baluk. Fresvik is a beautiful hidden village. It was isolated valley until 1976. People could only access it by boat on the Sognefjorden. Unfortunately, I reached it short before 4 p.m. and it was getting dark again, so I had no time to explore it as I originally planned. So just few air shots, photo, and off to the camp in Narenfjord. Leaving Narey and turning left from road E16, I'm reaching Tufto after 6 kilometers. You can't drive farther along Narey Fjord. This is as far as you can get by car. Narey Fjord is the narrowest and probably the best known branch of Sognefjord. Surrounded by towering mountains, it is 17 kilometers long and the narrowest point is only 250 meters wide. It is said to be the wildest and the most beautiful arm of Sognefjord, and it is listed on the UNESCO Heritage List. A passenger boat between Gudvangen, Erland, Flam is running all year, and that must be perfect way of experiencing this fjord. Right after kayaking, I guess. To get to Erland, I had to go back to road E16, and after 44 kilometers I reached a point with beautiful view on Erlandsfjord. The sun illuminated the slopes submerged in the water, creating dramatic shadows. It was perfect time for a time-lapse and some drone flying at the same time. I really enjoyed that day with clear sky and pleasant temperature. As Erlandsfjord is the second world's most beautiful and dramatic fjord next to Narey Fjord, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to show its beauty as much as I could, and I spent the rest of the day enjoying the views. Erlandsvägen mountain road leads to village Bjorgo. It has elevation of more than 700 meters and provides fantastic views on the Erlandsfjord. It offers journey across a mountain landscape of snow and rocks, with occasional sprig of grass. And in the sunset, it was just magical. This time-lapse was shot from Stegastein viewpoint. It is a wooden platform which juts 30 meters out from the mountainside. The panorama view, 650 meters above Aurland and Aurlandsfjord, is one of the best views in the fjord. Before I left this spot, took some pictures of sand in the stars and set off south. I didn't experience much of winter during that overland trip, so this unexpected weather at Reisnosvatnet Lake was a pleasant surprise, and I could finally check how it was to sleep in the tent with minus temperatures outside. And I must say, it was very comfy. Also, the idea with the heated external water tank worked great. Water temperature was 15 to 20 Celsius degrees all the time, so it was really a shame my water pump didn't work, as washing greasy dishes in the cold water is just a nightmare. I was able to fulfill my dream of immersing myself in cold water. Well, I also dreamt of hot sauna between each session, but couldn't find this combination anywhere during the trip. So just enjoy first part of the dream. It was a really refreshing and energizing experience. And having the possibility to get back to the tent with really cozy temperatures inside, hot tea with percentages, and a comfy bed felt like a perfect finish of the trip. In the morning, I could even see some clear sky. From now on, I was heading east towards Oslo and then south to Ystad. Just close to Skare, I shot this isolated red house in the middle of partially frozen lake. Seems like a perfect place if you want to be a bit isolated. And again, the rays of the setting sun breaking through heavy clouds flooded the surrounding area with warm twilight. Love such play of chiaroscuro. And those were the last days of this trip. On my way to Mysen, which is close to Swedish border, I had an unexpected stop as the road E134 was temporarily closed due to extensive snowfall and high wind. It was 1.5 hours stay, after which we were formed in some kind of convoy and set off reaching crazy speed of 20 km per hour. Was wondering why everyone turned the hazard lights on, but after a few hundred meters I just realized it would be impossible to see the car in front of you without having them on. So after another 370 kilometers I reached Mysen, where I was invited by a fellow Defender owner from Expedition Ready Defenders Facebook group, and after spending night there, I have crossed Swedish border. I didn't have any points of interest set for Sweden, so just tried to stay off the main roads and enjoyed some countryside views. After mountainous Norway, flat Sweden seemed boring, but luckily the lakes I encountered diversified the views. And when it seemed that nothing interesting would happen to me during this trip, of course something had to happen. 3 hours later I was free again, and sitting hidden in the forest by an abandoned hunting hut, I thought about Chris from Into the Wild movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. And that's how this trip came to an end. Hopefully, the confidence in myself and the equipment that this first fully lonely trip of mine poured into my heart will pay off in time.